Finally the day. Kioti RX7340 tractor. Had a Branson 4820 before this. I just sold it the other day. I'm so excited about this new tractor, and today I'm going to walk you guys around it. Now this machine is a little bit dirty. I have put a few hours on it. See, I've got the forks on it already. Took the bucket off. Been using the forks the last couple of days. Beautiful tractor, but before I feel like we can actually do a walk around on it, we need to give it a bath. As you can pretty much imagine, I do not care for that backup beeper, but that's okay, because I'm going to disconnect it as soon as I find where it's at. But for now, we're going to go back to the barn and get the pressure washer out. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh my God, he's got one of these cheap pressure washers. And you'd be right. But really, the only thing that I pressure wash out here is equipment. Now, I don't ever let my equipment get so dirty that I have to pressure wash it that heavily to where those higher powered machines would possibly take off the paint on the machine or something like that. This puts out 1750 PSI, which is plenty enough to knock dirt and do what you need to do around the house. And I will tell you what I have found is on a gasoline pressure washer, you're always having to either, you know, put gas in it, the pull rope breaks, the pump, anything. The cord on these things is super long. Here it is. And there's my power supply over here. If you've got to bring this to a water source, you more than likely got power. You may not have power wherever you're pressure washing, and you may be hooking up to a water tank. But for here at the house, this is what I found. They're cheap, they're inexpensive. I think this one came from Harbor Freight. When they break, you can just throw them away, get a new one. Most of the time for cheaper than what you can replace the pump for on a gasoline rig. Well, we got it all clean. It's not totally clean, clean enough. But before I want to get into this, I want to give you a little background of why I chose this tractor. A 75 horse tractor with just, 35, 40 acres of land to deal with is not very economical. In fact, before I bought the RX7340, I had a Branson 4820, as I mentioned before. The Branson 4820 was more than enough to take care of what I needed to do around here. In fact, I liked the Branson 4820 tractor so much, I hated to even see it go. However, I do not have the need for two tractors. But the whole reason I went to this RX7340 is because of hay. Now we're nestled in Northeast Texas, and it is very difficult to get people to show up to cut your hay when they say they're going to. So if they're not right on schedule when I need them to be here, and that has not been the case for 3 years, the Branson 4820 was not going to cut it in a hay pasture. 48 horse tractor. I can't really remember what the PTO horsepower was, but I think it was somewhere around 39 to 40. Now, that may be okay for a cutter and a rake, but the baler was the situation. The RX7340 only puts out like 62 horsepower at the PTO. So we're gonna see how that goes. Now, I have the forks on the tractor, like I said before, because I've been moving some few implements around. But let's take a walk around on this thing. Starting with the loader, it's the KL7340. It goes with the 7340 RX, or the RX7340, I should say. It has a self-leveling system on it, which this is my first time having a self-leveling loader. So what that means is the pivot point on the tilt stays the same all the way to max reach. Now, that is very handy, especially when you have a set of forks. Push the button there. Now, you do still have your DPF filter on this tractor. It is just a hair, there's the DPF filter, it is just a hair under 75 horses, so it does not require DEF. The next thing I want to cover is the tires. These tires are so aggressive looking, however they are so gentle on the turf. I can, as you can see, whenever I was pressure washing the machine, I had no problems pulling it into the yard, pressure washing it, water sitting under it, and backing it back out. Leaves no ruts whatsoever. They have put in the Goodyear R14 tires. These have a aggressive pattern on them. I've heard that they work just as well as the ag tires, but I mean, my God. Now, when I ordered this tractor, I had them go ahead and put in a couple of extra remotes. It did come with the one set of remotes. Most tractors in this size category come with two. This one only came with one, but it wasn't that expensive. I think it was, since I wanted them added from the get-go, I think they offered me to do them for $600, and it was either $600 or $650 for each extra remote. And it comes with a colored handle inside the cab to match which remote. Now, here's where your top link goes. My top link is sitting right there. I have it off because I was moving some stuff around that does not require a top link, and it was just getting in the way. Now, I think the lifting capacity on this 3-point system is around 4,500 pounds. This is a category 2 3-point system. For those of you that don't know, there are different categories for different size tractors and different size implements. Like that being a category 2, this, however, was originally a category 1. What I have done is I have just run down to Atwood's, I believe is where I got these. And I pulled out the category 1 pins and put in category 2 pins so I don't have to worry about it. If you don't put category 2 pins on, you end up having to get these little bushings that slip over a category 1 pin and will slide into like so. Now, you don't have to do that, but I would suspect that if you didn't, you would start wearing this this bushing out here. Heavy duty drawbar. 540 PTO. I will say that this big shroud does get in the way with newer PTOs that have the shroud, the plastic shroud already on them. It is quite the pain, but I will get over it. Adjustment here to adjust your 3-point one way or the other. You have a PTO button where you can engage the PTO. I don't really think this is for engaging the PTO primarily for running the PTO. I think this is really just to bump the PTO so you can get it to line up so you don't have to fight it, especially if you have something big like a batwing mower where it's really hard to spin the PTO shaft around to get it to line up with the tractor. So we have our up and down functions of the 3-point system. So outside the tractor, this makes it super easy if you need to do some fine adjustments once you back up to your implement. You can also adjust here, push these down. See if I can do this. Those come out, and you can once they're down, you can kind of move these in and out to fine tune the adjustment for when you need to hook up your implement, and that's on both sides. Speaking of both sides, you also have the PTO and the 3-point up and down switch here on both sides of the tractor. Behind these very, very nice all LED light package that they put on this tractor. Now these work lights, they are bright. There's 4 in the front, 2 in the rear. I kind of wish inside the panel, and I will show this to you guys, inside the tractor on the panel, it shows to where it's supposed to have side lights. There's no side lights on this machine. Some wiring for some side lights. So that very well means that that could be a add-on that you can get from Kioti. Just like you could also get fenders for the front tires for the Kioti. Just to show you how bright these lights are, let me get inside the cab here, and we'll get back in here in a minute. But let's just come over here. I just want to show you how bright these lights are. Now here's the ones for the front, and here's the ones for the rear. If you see, there is a button here with S on it, means side, just like that means front and rear. This will come on, it does light up, and it shows lights. It's supposed to be right there on the side. So coming outside the tractor now, you can see the LED lights here. This thing looks like a beast at nighttime, especially with the I guess I better turn on the hazard lights for you too as well. That's just a little push right there. But these hazard lights, this machine really does look really cool at nighttime with all the lights lit up on it. Sorry, I don't know why I wanted to show you that so much, but I will tell you, I'm really impressed with the lights on this tractor. The first time I was, get this AC off, but when I first turned the lights on at nighttime, Ashley was outside in around the tractor, and I think she was out in front of the tractor, and whenever I turned them on, she covered her eyes. I mean, they were so bright, it really shocked me. I thought it was going to be some dinky incandescent. I knew they were LEDs, but I thought it was going to be some dinky incandescent bulb, you know, that kind of like what I had on the on my other tractor, that I could see way out in front of me and way out behind me. And if I add those 2 side lights, I will have a complete, almost like a parking lot light right over the top of me. I mean, it lights it up all the way around. Very, very nice lighting. If you're going to be doing any kind of work whatsoever at the dark or in the dark, this tractor will allow you to get it done easily because it is very bright. All right, so we're inside the tractor. I am going to start it up. We are in Northeast Texas. It's very hot outside, 100 degrees for the last few days. So let's do this. Nice little dash there. Okay, We're going to start on the left side. We're going to work our way around. So, you got 2 cup holders in this tractor. You got a fuse box. Everything's covered up right there. Now, you do have 2 power supplies. One of them is a 12-volt power supply, and the other one is for a USB charger for your phone if you don't want to carry a little adapter around. Because we all know that if you go here, you have to do a cigarette lighter, and then that goes into there. But they've already done it for you here, which is very nice. That was very thoughtful. In today's world, this is 2025. We're all about our phones, tech, things of that nature. I have even gone so far to install a phone mount in here, just simply because I don't like things rattling around. So I always like for everything to have its place, and you'll see that here in just a second. Now, this did come with the buddy seat. Ashley loves riding on the tractor with me, and with the Branson, she just couldn't do that very much because really the only choice she had was sitting on the rubber mat and hanging her feet off on the steps, which isn't very safe anyway, but I always kept a close eye on her whenever I was operating the tractor, and she never really did that while I was doing work. It was mostly just riding from one point to the other, so she didn't have to walk through the field. Now, so the buddy seat is a very nice feature. This cab is very wide. I'm not sure exactly how wide it is, but I'm telling you, I sat in a New Holland and I sat in a Mahindra, and sitting in those 2 tractors, the Mahindra and the New Holland, and then getting in this was like going from you know, just a regular car to a luxury car, and it was there was no question about it. The floor mat has 2-inch insulation underneath it, padding. It's very padded, ergonomic, very comfortable on the feet, for sure, getting in and out of the tractor. I will say that padding, although it is very nice, doesn't go all the way across the floor. It only goes right here in this area. You can see the padding there, but it stops right there. So really the only padded area is just this right here where you're getting in. I wish they would have done it right underneath my feet, which I think, in my opinion, would have been the best place to put it. I mean, how long are you really standing right here? How long are your feet really right here? I know you're sitting in the seat, but it would have been nice to have it all the way across. Now, the reason I think that they did that is so that you would have a good solid surface to rest your feet on while you were pushing your pedals, clutch and brake, things of that nature. We'll go up to the top left-hand corner. I don't know if you can see this. I've got it set on low. This does have an automatic feature. I love this. This is the first digital screen that I've seen in a tractor. Most of them are just the turn switches, just the cheap old control heads that you see. This one actually has an auto function. You can set to auto and then set your temperature. It is in Celsius. I have no idea why, but I know how to read Celsius because I fly airplanes. So it really doesn't bother me that much. Oh, and you can also, most tractors have a manual switch that you have to move it from recirculation to open air. This one, just to push up a button. Now the air conditioner on this one is all down around the steering column, which is fine with me. Now, this is the sunroof. Snap in all the way. Sunroof, load window, whatever you want to call it. I call it a sunroof because I'm not doing much reaching up there with the loader. But if I were, I could keep an eye on what I was doing with this nice little tinted sunroof they put in here. It also doubles as a, like so. And then you can just slide it back and use it as a sunroof. Rear view mirror. There is the holder that I put in for my my phone. It sits perfectly right there. And this thing will also hold an iPad. Here's your eco mode, your switches for your dash panel, your DPF filter. This is a beacon light. If you were to put a beacon light on this for construction purposes, and this is simply just your flashers. The parking brake is manual. Now on my other tractor, it was an emergency brake parking style brake. So you kind of have to play with this pedal to get it to sit in there right. Here is the PTO selector, very simple, 540 neutral and 540E. No 1000 PTO on this one. Also moving around, here is your multi-control for your loader, up, tilt, left, right, that all good stuff, horn. And then also on the back side of this, you have your third function rocker switch. Now moving on, we are in neutral, so it's not really going to matter, but this right here is the same as pushing in your clutch. So you just depress this, you have your range selector here, which is low, medium, and high, if you can see that. Low, medium, and high, and then you have 1 through 4 here, and this little side button is the same as doing this. So you hit this button, it'll beep at you. It's in 4th gear, that's in 3rd, and then as soon as you release it, now it's in 3rd. And you can do this on the fly. That's in 1st gear. You do not have to push in the clutch to shift it from forward to reverse. You don't even have to push in the clutch to shift it from neutral to forward or neutral to reverse. You don't have to push in the clutch to do anything over here, which is very handy. However, sometimes it is a little jerky, but there's a feature for that, and I'll explain that here in a minute. Here's your throttle. It is right next to your draft control. So it is very easy to reach up here and grab this, and instead of raising your throttle, maybe drop your draft control a little bit, or your 3-point. I have done that already, but I don't foresee it being an issue in the future. These are increment buttons. They work the same as the buttons on the back of the tractor. You can raise and lower your 3-point with that. Here is your PTO engage switch. It's just a simple push and twist. And if there's ever a problem, it is in manual mode, as you see. You can put this in automatic, which means that the PTO will disengage, I believe, whenever you have the 3-point control up. Or you can just hit it and it turns off. Here is the 3 remotes. If you do not add remotes, yours is just going to come with this, and these will have covers over them. But if you order more remotes, you'll get the yellow one next and then the green one. Here are these buttons here. This one's not being utilized. This is a work function and drive function, and this is just simply the response setting that you want and what you're doing. If you're just driving around doing light duty stuff, I suggest keep it in drive. If you're really working, lifting stuff, moving backwards and forwards, stuff like that, you really want to put it in work. Also, here is the correction for the 3-point. You can increase it just a little bit, or you can decrease it a little bit. And I haven't played with all these functions, so I may be wrong on these, but I believe, and that's another reason I'm going over this, is because even at the dealership, they did not explain any of this stuff. This is just stuff that I have found out. Here is a comfort clutch. Now, if you are doing a lot of forward and reverse and stuff like that, you can turn this on and the tractor won't be as jerky engaging the clutch. If you're doing it with your foot, this really doesn't come into play because you're doing it yourself. I kind of leave that off. And I'm not sure what the IP settings are. This also has controls, response setting for takeoff and forward. You have your lowering speed. You have your auto PTO position, so you can adjust when you want that PTO to cut off. And then you have your upper limit position for your PTO that you can also set. All these are all the way up.
and the draft control here. You can turn your response setting up here. I have it low because I'm still getting used to the tractor. Here is where you turn on the external PTO that operates the switches back there. Now, this also does have cruise PTO. Way more functions than what I know of to how to operate yet, coming from a smaller tractor, but we will get there. Another fuse panel over here, covered up just the same. Also comes with a radio. I'm probably missing a few things, a few key features on the tractor, and I'm sure I will catch those well after this video is published. I don't understand the pricing behind the Kioti brand. They have the most complicated pricing system that I think I've ever seen. For example, and I'm not gonna mention the dealership because me and the dealership aren't seeing eye to eye right now, and I really don't wanna give them a review until, I want to give them a chance, I guess, to make things right. Well, that's going to be all for today's video on the walk around on the new Kioti RX7340. Guys, stay tuned for upcoming videos. I'm going to release a video very, very soon, within the next couple of days probably, of me actually operating this tractor. There's not a lot of videos out there of this machine. I want to get as much information out there as possible for somebody possibly in the same situation that I was in. Really wanted the tractor, not much information out there about it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, stick around for future videos, especially of the new Kioti RX7340. Well, that's gonna do it for today, guys. It's super hot out here and I've got a lot of things to do today and must get done, and talking about this tractor is not one of them. It is already 11:58. 89 degrees before noon here. We love you. See you next time on Messing Around Acres.